Hello family, my name is Chris, I am your home gamer dad, and I welcome you to the next session of Final Girl, where I'm going to be taking on a flock of fearsome feathered foes in the vignette for Series 1, Terror from Above. Inside of this tiny box here is the vignette itself. It comes with the killer boards and the minions, and this is pretty much just minions. Even though it counts as another killer, they're just minions in here. You are going to need a location in order to be able to play it, and I chose Camp Happy Trails simply for the simplicity of it all. Camp Happy Trails is probably the easiest one out of all of the Series 1 maps out there. It's very straightforward, very simple, and I think it lends itself well because you're outside in the wilderness and all of a sudden all of these birds just start showing up out of nowhere, and for some reason they are all really pissed off. So yeah, all the little pieces and everything you're going to be able to find in here. I'm going to go over everything individually. Once we get down to the table, I'll go over exactly all the rules about how to play Terror from Above, what makes it unique, what you have to do to win, and all that other stuff. Comes with one final girl, Melanie right here, so I'm going to be using her today. Very good. Her special ability is made specifically for this particular, this vignette here, but it also can be good on any killer, and you'll see that once we actually get there as well. I kind of have to unlock it in order to progress with the game, but again, I will go over all of that when we get down there. She doesn't come with the figure you'll find in the cast and crew box for Series 1 as well, and then I'm also going to be using the bird tokens instead of, the bird figures instead of the tokens, just because they look nicer. So with that, let's get ourselves down to the table so I can show you the final piece of Series 1 of Final Girl, the Terror from Above vignette. We got this, we got the core book, we got ourselves our location, we got our Final Girl, we got some birds to go shooting out of the sky. Grab your dog, grab your zapper, and let's get to this. Melanie versus the birds from Terror from Above in Camp Happy Trails. The birds, they're coming, everybody run, or at least they will be in Camp Happy Trails. So, what we have here is, as I mentioned before, the vignette Terror from Above. Whenever you get this is actually everything you would need within this small little box right here. Again, this is only a killer. You would need to take one of any of your locations at all, and you can match it with the birds here from Terror of Above. What I have are the 3D models, which were actually available from the last Kickstarter. I got these, so I was waiting on getting these before I can actually play this because they look so much better on the board. But nonetheless, you do have these punch-out tokens as well that come with the game. 3 birds on one side, 1 bird on the other, because that's how they're labeled. There's 1 single bird and then a flock of 3. And actually, that's the kind of the main thing with this, where the birds won't do anything unless they're in a flock of 3. The way you would learn how to play this is through these instruction cards that were given to you inside of the vignette. They are double-sided and they do go over all the rules of the game. I'm going to go over them as I set things up and let you know what makes this vignette special and what you need to do in order to not only survive the wave of killer crows, but also what you need to do to officially win the game, spawning birds, how they attack, and all that other crazy stuff. First and foremost, everything is going to be set up on the board like normal. We are in Camp Happy Trails. If you had a different location that had a different type of setup to it, then you're going to want to go ahead and do that. But your event cards and your setup and your item cards from the deck are definitely placed aside. I do recommend for your events, removing every event with a special character to it, because you need the 3 special characters in order to win the vignette. That is actually a win condition, is to save anywhere from 1 to 3 of these special characters in order to win. So I removed all of them from the event deck. There's also a few events and occasionally a few items that specify like killers or just certain things that wouldn't really work well with this particular game, and that is talked about. Let me see here. So rule card 5A does talk about that. Event cards that require 1 or more special victims to be used should be ignored. So I just completely got rid of them from the deck. It may happen that an event card doesn't make sense or work from Terror of Above, so I've actually kind of gotten rid of that as well for Camp Happy Trails. Play through it once, see how it looks, watch this playthrough, and then when you play through it, you'll be able to see it as well. They actually kind of mentioned also some items are completely useless, like the bear trap from Camp Happy Trails, because the killer is never going to walk into it because the birds don't actually walk from place to place. They just gather in certain areas. So I've gone through the item deck as well, and I've removed a few items in order to be able to not have anything that would kind of get in my way. There's still more items here than I need, so that's good. So there's still like a lot of variety to it. And of course, you're shuffling them and everything like that. And then they talk about some Terran event cards as well that refer to the killer. Being that there are no killers, the birds are minions. If the card specifies the killer moves to a space, spawn birds instead. So if the killer moves, birds spawn. And then if a killer is placed somewhere, you place 3 birds. So it's kind of like killer is 3 birds, sort of, but not really. I'm not going to really use it like synonymously with each other, but that's kind of where it was going. All right, so we're going to go ahead and grab the tarot deck here. I'm just going to work from left to right as I explain what everything is. And this is the combination of tarot cards from Camp Happy Trails and Terror from Above. So you mix them all together, you give them a good shuffle, and then you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you got 10 cards here, which will be our timer for the game. The birds do have their own finale and dark power cards, and you're going to do that pretty much the same way as you do for all the other things. So give them a bit of a shuffle. There's only 3 each. Kind of wish there was epic finales and everything for these. Maybe they will be later when we see season 3 of Final Girl. Oh, I can't wait for that. That's going to be awesome. But until then, we have ourselves our 1 finale and our dark power. And I'll explain what the birds do on every turn because they have their own symbol up here. Unlike all the killers, the birds only have this little card right here that represents their bloodlust. You'd be surprised, like, victims die pretty well, but not as crazy as some other victims, so there isn't really much, but it works all the same. As the bloodlust goes up, you're gonna do whatever is over here. If it reaches the top and bounces up this way, you only resolve the top part. I made that mistake in my second playthrough ever of this game, and then you just kind of go from there and it sits on top. The bloodlust meter starts at 4, and that starts down on the bottom. Spawning birds is a unique thing that happens within the game. You're going to be rolling 2 dice. One of the dice values is going to tell you how many birds spawn. The other dice is going to tell you where they go. You get to choose which one you want. So if you rolled a 3 and a 1, it would be either you can distribute 3 birds in any space or 1 bird on the nearest search space or whatever. Very nice that they give you that option so you can kind of figure out where the birds are going to go. There are ways that the game manipulates this so you don't have a choice, but just keep that in mind as we go along, and I'll be pointing that around because you spawn birds at least once a turn. The Terror from Above vignette did come with Melanie as the final girl, so she is, of course, who I will be using for this. Her ultimate ability is extremely helpful for this scenario. That's why I don't have any of the ultimate dice around here and everything like that. I'm going to make that judgment call before I get into the actual gameplay, whether I want to use the ultimate ability of the final girl or not. And if I'm not going to use it, you'll see the ultimate dice here. Otherwise, I'm definitely going to use it. She needs 6 victims in order to flip over to her ultimate, which once she does that, as soon as her ultimate is revealed or if all victims are killed, that's when these 3 special victims spawn. And I'll explain that in a little bit, but just know that she needs to rescue 6 people, flips over, and she gets a great ability that we are definitely going to see. All right, so let's go ahead and figure out her final health token here. We're going to use the Desperation dice. I'm going to roll it, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I roll a 1, it goes down here. 2, 3, 4, 5. So roll it up. 4. So 2, 3, 4. Whatever this is, that is her final health token, and the rest can be put to the side. All right, let's do the item deck. You guys have seen all this before. If you've watched any of my other Final Girl playthroughs, you know exactly how this type of setup goes. But this is a lot easier because Melanie doesn't actually have a special weapon to her. She doesn't have like the unique item that belongs just to her like all the other Final Girls do. So this is just a simple shuffle, and then we're going to go 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to put another row, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Let me clean those up and then we'll see what goes on top. You got the cabins, the dock, and the utility shed. The first item going to the cabins is the flashlight. Once birds action phase, spend 1 time to look at the top card of the terror deck, leave it in place or put it at the bottom of the deck. That's fine. Next we have the trash can lid. I'm going to need to grab this. It's a one-handed item, a defensive item. You would have 3 little things on it, and whenever you get hit by an attack, you remove 1 in order to ignore damage. Definitely needed in order to stop all these angry birds from pecking at you. And lastly, we have, ooh, the whistle. Oh, I like this one. I've actually never gotten it, but I read about this, and I think this is going to be really cool. Spend 1 time to use the whistle once per action phase. When used, all victims adjacent to you will move to your space. Then all enemies will move towards the final girl. The way this works is that all enemies you're basically going to spawn more birds. You blow the whistle and it attracts more birds. Very, very bad for this game, but it can happen that way. As long as you have the whistle, 1 additional victim will follow you. That's going to be fantastic. I need to get the whistle. And just an FYI, I had 1 item card left over from what I removed from Camp Happy Trail. So, you know, again, it's still a variety. You know, you're shuffling in, they're going to come out in different ways. And then, of course, some 1 or 2 will not be there, whereas others will. The setup is extremely, extremely important because this is where things start getting very different from the main game. So we're going to shuffle these. We're going to throw down a setup card like this. Here we go. Skinny dipping. Isn't that something that you always do when you're at camp? Let's put that right there. All right, so the way that this works is our final girl is going to start here in the docks, which is great. That's where the trash can lid is, even though I have to get up here to get the whistle, but I'm fine there. And then the killer is actually a flock of 3 birds, so we put that there. As per normal, we're going to go ahead and just distribute all of our meat bags along the board. So we got 2 people here. I think every single card in here, all the setups have 2 people in makeout point. Except for one where I think maybe the final girl starts like really close to it, trying to block whatever's going on there. But of course, you're going to have 2 people at make out point every time. Why wouldn't you? So now that we have all of the victims on here, what we're going to do is we're going to take every one of these single birds, and 1 bird is going to spawn in every spot without a victim, without the final girl, and of course, without the 3 birds right here. So as you can see, the birds have already started taking over our quiet camp. And now we flip our event card. Here we go. Fresh meat. Welcome to Camp Happy Trails, where you'll make memories that will last until you die. Oh, joy. Oh, no. Fresh meat. Oh, how sweet. 2 new victims in the cabin. So we got 3 here now. That's great. 2 new victims on the dock. Hey, that's where we are. This is actually going to work out very, very well. And then 2 new victims in the fire pit. So there's 4 over here. We got plenty of victims now that we can rescue. And yeah, also plenty of victims that could possibly die. So the way that Terror from Above works is that we will win the game once we rescue all 3 of our special victims. We don't have to worry about killing crows, even though that's probably a good idea to do from time to time. All we have to do is make sure that when these 3 spawn onto the board, we get them to an exit and they get out of here. Once we rescue the last one, we officially win. The way they get onto the board is either by us unlocking our ultimate abilities, so as soon as that happens, they spawn on the board, or if there are no victims left on the board, which in this case is probably not going to happen. And what happens is when these spawn onto the board, they will be placed at the furthest search space from our final girl. So if we happen to just be here, for example, and we unlocked our ultimate ability, they would spawn up here. Now, the vignettes come in 3 different difficulties: easy, medium, and hard, and that pretty much tells you how many of these guys go on. 1 for easy, 2 for medium, and 3 for hard. Of course, all 3 are going to spawn for me here. Why would I have it any other way? And we have to rescue all 3 in order to win. As far as losing goes, there's 2 lose conditions to the game. First, we die. That's pretty much how all Final Girl is. When your Final Girl is dead and your heart token has nothing on the back of it, or you have your white token and you've taken your last hit, you're dead. Game over. You lose. Sorry about that. The other lose condition is that if every space on the board has a 3 bird token on it, then we immediately lose as well. Now, the way that happens is because as we go through each round, the birds will spawn. And I talked about the spawn card before. Whenever you spawn onto a space, the moment a space has 3 birds, you would remove the piece and you would put the 3 bird thing here. So now that's it. Every space can only have a maximum of 3 birds on it. If more than 3 birds go on the space, they start branching out into the other spaces. Kind of think like Pandemic, whenever you had like a burst of like the viruses or whatever. If they went to a space, so if I had another bird that would go here, if I try to put it here, it would then have to go to one of these 2 spaces. So that's how they spread around really, really fast if you don't like control the flock. As far as their health and attack goes, every bird has 1 health, they do 1 attack, and they do not move anywhere. When an attack is initiated, 2 things happen. 1, the birds on the space with the final girl will attack. So if I'm like here, this single bird would attack. But if I'm here, no other birds would attack unless it's a space with 3 birds on it. Now, if there's no victims in this space like it is here, no problems, no worries, don't have to worry about anything. But if it was here, then these birds would attack this victim. Now, if the situation was like this, with 1 bird on the space, this bird would attack, and it would prioritize attacking the victim. The difference between this vignette and all other horror, on all the other villains or whatever, is that if I had a guard or retaliate card, I could use it in order to block the damage from this 1 bird. I just had to make sure to block all damage from it, because if any damage overflows at all, this victim is still dead. So you can actually protect victims in this particular story mode or whatever, and with this vignette, as compared to the other ones. Because let me tell you, as time goes on, these birds, oh man, they're just going to become, they're going to become a force to be reckoned with, let me tell you. Lastly, before we get in, I just want to also again mention, if you had 3 birds, say on this space or whatever, all 3 birds attack 1 target. They would not attack multiple targets. So 3 birds would go after 1 victim. The final girl would block all 3 attacks. Same thing if the final girl was there by herself, all 3 birds would attack her. Every bird does 1 damage. So she would actually lose 3 health there if I couldn't defend it. Or if there was victims here, all 3 birds would attack 1 victim, and then that would be the end of it. So sometimes it may not be a bad idea having birds on the space with other victims, because they're going to be the ones that take the hit as compared to everything else. Now, birds are considered minions. And if I'm here, according to the rulebook, page 33 of the rulebook, just want to point this out, if you choose to attack the minions and there is more than 1 of them in the same space, you are attacking all of them. You may divide damage among the minions in the targeted space as you wish. Any leftover damage is lost. So if I'm in a space with 3 birds and I do an attack and I generate 4 attack, all 3 birds are destroyed because I hit all of them with my attack. If I have a space of 3 birds and I only do 2 damage, so that means these would go away and I would only replace it with 1. So as you can see, that's how you're going to be getting rid of birds. You're going to be using the attack that you generate and trying to spread it around as much as you can in order to get rid of them. And that, my friends, is pretty much the basics for Terror from Above. Let's get on over to the market so I can talk about that a little bit. I did add a new card to the tableau, and then let's get started. So here we are over here on our market. Pretty much everything is as you would expect to be normal. Your basic cards that you got to buy over here are 0 cards, but I added in parkour, which is another signature action. If you saw my Dr. Fright episode, I explained what the signature action cards are. Basically, these are cards that came with the box of props. These are cards that were submitted from fans. Again, I submitted some, and they look like some of mine, but I don't quite remember because it's been that long. And what parkour is, it's a special action for 3 time. You would roll your dice, and on a success, you would move 1 space, skipping over spaces with a victim or a killer. And then a good success would be 2 spaces skipping over. So basically, if there's a space with a victim in it, that doesn't count as a space. You just keep going over it, 1 and 1 and 1 and 1. The reason I added this to Terror from Above is because movement is key. You need to be able to traverse around as much as you can on the board, as fast as you can, especially when those special victims come up. I've actually won this vignette twice so far with this card. Super, super helpful, and you'll see why as we go forward. So, speaking of which, let's grab our initial 0s. Got these here, and let's start. So the way I always like starting things is with a nice focus. Let's try to lower this gauge as much as we can. So we'll take 2 dice and we'll roll and hope for the best result, obviously, but any star result will do fine. And our opening rolls are a success and then a dumping of 2 cards. Do I want to do this early? I'm actually not going to do it early. We're just going to do 1. So I'm just going to do that and lose 1. Because I'm in this space with 2 victims, I'm going to immediately do a walk. And I'm going to walk them to this spot right here and immediately rescue them. This is like the perfect situation here in order to get our card started to be full. And then I want to try to probably buy a sprint card in order to get to the fire pit and then back over here. All right, let's see how we do here. Whoa, double success. Oh man, I should have dumped those 2 cards. Well, you know what? There's a reason why I didn't, and it'll probably come to me eventually. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move here, and we have already rescued 2 people. We're only in the first game and we've rescued 2 people. That is amazing. So I'm gonna definitely lower the horror gauge by 1, that's for sure. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm gonna move 1 space, and I'm gonna move back to the dock because I don't want to be in a spot with the crow right now because it'll immediately hit me once I finish the phase of the planning phase. So we'll move this down, we'll move this down, and we'll move ourselves back to the dock. So I'm actually going to call it right here. I know I only played 2 cards, but I have 4 time. I'm going to buy a search card, and I'm going to buy a sprint card. And then with all the other cards in my hand, that means next turn should be pretty good. So yeah, we're going to buy a sprint, and we're going to buy a search. The parkour is not going to be really needed until I have the special victims pop up on the board, because then I can like jump as fast as I can in order to grab them using that. But there we go. So we got those 2 and only 2 zeros for the next round, which isn't a lot, but it's pretty good for right now. And at least we know it's a walk and a focus. All right, planning phase done. Time for the killer phase, in which we go over here and we follow the rules on the minions board, which is all birds attack, well, birds that have the ability to attack, and then birds spawn. So again, the way the birds attack, if there are 3 birds in a particular area, they attack any victims in it, there are none, and then any birds in our spot attack. So far everybody is all divided out and everything, which is fine, but now the spawning process happens. For the entire game, you always wish to roll high. For the spawn, we want low, 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 4 and 2. So that means we can either spawn 4 birds in a single space or spawn 2 birds in the nearest exit spot. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to spawn 2 birds here. So this is going to be a 3-bird spot. You definitely want the least amount of birds possible going up on the board. But if I get myself over to the fire pit, it's 1, 2, 3 out, 1, 2. It's closer to take them out from here from the fire pit. Oh man, I'll see how we do. Hopefully the tarot card doesn't screw us over. It's as if that was any case that wasn't going to happen. All right, so here we go. The birds are attacking. Attack in your space and all spaces where birds outnumber victims. If no attacks, spawn and move up the bloodlust meter. Well, nothing's going to attack, so let's go ahead and spawn. All right, yeah, see, here we go. We already have 2 things going. Oh, 2 and 2, sweet. That means 2 birds spawn in any single space. I'm gonna put them right here on this spot. Just because I know a few dark powers for these birds, and I kind of want them just kind of off on their own. Fortunately, we already have 3 birds on it, but that's okay. I mean, I could have put 2 birds. You know what? Let me change that up. Hold on a second. Put that here. We're going to put 2 birds up here and make out point. We're going to put 2 pervy birds standing here watching these 2 make out. Just because you can put them on any space you want. And in a situation like this, the birds equal the number of victims, so they wouldn't have attacked. And because there's only 2 birds in here, they wouldn't attack on their attack phase anyway. But the bloodlust meter does go up, unfortunately, and that means we do draw another event. I'm just going to cover up this card because we've already done it. Star-crossed lovers. When exactly 2 victims are in a space and one of them is killed, the other immediately dies. So the more victims in the space, the better. But if there's exactly 2, then they both are pecked to death. What a wonderful thought, isn't it? All right, here we go. Focusing this time, because if I hit 1 more focus, I'll be able to go ahead and roll 3 dice, which is always very helpful. Let's put this back up to 6. I'm just going to, no, we'll leave it at 6. I don't know if I'm going to roll. I doubt I'll roll a super success, but we'll see. All right, here we go. You know what? I think I am going to do the dumping 2 cards for this one, just because I want to gain that extra 2 time. You know what? No, I'm not. Because ideally, well, no, it'd be like gaining 3 time. So I'm just going to take my 2 cards and shove them under here. This would then turn into a success. And then instead of losing 1 time, I gain 2, so I'm at 8. And now I'm down here, and we will roll a 3rd dice. Fantastic. Now we're going to search. We're going to search this area in the hopes to find the trash can lid. I really hope I can grab it because I could definitely use that for future defense against birds. Come on, star. Here we go. Oh, no. All right. See, I shouldn't have dumped them. Shouldn't have dumped them. That's what you get. That's what you get. I have to dump them. I have to do it. Ah, man, I have to dump it in order to be able to make a success, in order to grab the trash can lid. I hate the fact that that happened. I should have listened to my instincts. I lost the time on that anyway, because now I can't even move. But I have 7 to spend, so I should be able to get some pretty good cards. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy Improvise for 3, Sprint for 2, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I'm going to grab both close calls for 7 along with these, because the idea would be that these would be my dump cards in order to convert them in order to stars, and then if I improvise and get something really good in the beginning, then at least 3s and 4s would count as successes, and I'd be able to sprint and walk to its fullest ability, and then maybe even focus a little bit more. Sounds good. Put the sprint back, put the search back, and then these 4 cards for the next round. Birds attack, nothing happens because there's only 2 birds here, so these guys don't die. So let's go ahead and spawn some birds. You always roll 2 dice when spawning birds, so it doesn't really matter how many other dice that you have. 5 and a 1. So 1 is distributed to any space, so I can put 5 anywhere I want to in the board, or a 5 is the nearest victim space. I'm going to go ahead and drop a birdie right here on the lake with this dude right here. I'm probably never going to rescue this guy, but that is what it is. Terror card time. All right. Let's go see if the rumors are true. Place 2 new victims in the space where the killer started the game. Which is not good because, again, that's a 3 crow space, so they're actually both going to die in the next round. My horror gauge goes down, so I'm back to 2, and we're drawing another event card, which happens to be Clingy Campers. There is no penalty for the first victim you save in the action phase. For each additional victim, you lose a health. Oh, great. That's wonderful. So I am going to immediately focus right now, now that we're back in the action phase. I don't have anything to do in the upkeep phase, which is fine by me. So that's going to happen. I want to try to gain the 3 dice before I play my improvised card. I got stuff to dump, so let's see what we get. We get a star, and I'm not going to spend it this time. I just need the 1 star, and we'll be good to go. This is actually at 5 because we should have brought back down to 6, and now we're rolling 3 dice once again. And here we go, improvise with 3 dice. Hopefully going to be able to get something. If I only get 1, then I'm going to play the sprint card to make sure that I get the most amount of movement possible. Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Okay, cool. So until the end of the action phase, all 3s and 4s count as successes. I have a sprint and I have a walk. I'm going to be using both of them, and hopefully I'll be able to get some great successes from it. First up is the sprint card. So ideally, if I roll 3, it's definitely going to be 1, 2, and then probably 3. And then I'm going to go ahead and roll the walk, which at the very least would get me 1, but 2 would be better, so I can go 1, 2 back to the dock. So the idea is to make a big circle and to eventually rescue 2 more people. Let's see if this works. Yes, it does. All right, part 1, phase 1 of my plan is a go. So we lose a time, which is fine. 1, 2, yeah, so we got to move it over here, moving these 2 over here for 3. So that's good. Then we're going to walk it out and try to get ourselves over here. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Okay, wow. Oh, jeez, man. You play the improvise because you don't think you're going to roll like this. And then, of course, that's what happened. So I got 3 successes here. Whatever, doesn't really matter. So we're going to move ourselves over here for 1. And then that's 2 more victims. Let's hear it. Yay! Away they go. Get out of here before the birds make you into a birdside snack. Now, normally I would lose a health because of the clingy campers, but I'm going to go ahead and pop this up here. So I'm gaining the health back that I would have lost. I'm actually also going to go here for the move 2 spaces. I don't have any more movement on me, but I want to try to get back to that fire pit and get some people out of there. So yeah, we're going to go 1, 2, back over here. And even though I have the last move for walk, I'm actually not going to use it. I also forgot to spend that, so there we go. Right? Yeah, focus, sprint, and a walk, 1, 2, 3. Perfect. I'm not going to use it because at least if I'm right here, I'm not on a space with a bird because I would have moved it over here and then this bird could have he would have definitely killed somebody. So we're going to stay right here for the next round, which I should have some walks and at least some sprints. So I have focus, walk, and short rest. I have 3 to spend. The thing with parkour and how I'm going to run it is that there should have been something on here that says you can't use parkour with victims following you. Because come on, seriously, if you're going to jump over victims and killers while carrying 2 victims, does that really do they parkour too? Are they as good of parkourers as you are? So the way I've been playing parkour is that only the final girl can do this movement. Otherwise it just counts as move 1 space, move 2 space. It's just another walk card of sorts. Do I want to be able to do this? I might want to be able to do this just because and I don't have anything else, and I only have 1 walk in my hand, and I don't really want to do distraction. Then again, I feel like things are going to take a turn. You know, I'm going to take the distraction just to be safe. Put a sprint here, put the improvise back, put the walk in focus. I have 1 walk in my hand, so I should be able to get to where I need to. And if not, then then be it as it may. All right, birds attack, and right here we have 3 birds that have swooped down on this helpless victim, and peck, 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 and he dies, and he dies, and he dies. See, and this is what I was talking about. So that's going to go here, the bloodlust meter is going to go up, and then this is going to go down. So now I am rolling 2 dice once again. So I took distraction just to kind of move it up a little bit more. Otherwise that, nothing else happens. This victim will panic in the panic phase, but not yet. So let's actually, no, I'm sorry. Star-crossed lovers, you are also peck to death. Unfortunately, like your friend, they saw one, they decided it tasted really good, and you die as well. Yeah, see, there you go. So it doesn't matter. Nobody panics because they're all dead. Move this up for the dark power, and we have... They're just waiting to strike. During the upkeep, if there are 3 birds in your space, increase the horror by 2. Oh boy, so that's only for the upkeep, which really stinks because they generally spawn around this time anyway, which right now they're going to spawn. And, oh man, well, 3 shouldn't go in our space, at least I hope not. Though it's very, very, very possible that would happen. Ooh, a 6 and a 1, eh? Yeah, I'm just going to put 1 bird in my space. I'm going to be out of here with these 2 victims, so I'm not going to worry about pretty little birdie here striking at them. But as you can see, the birds are starting to really flock all over the place. I need to unlock my special ability because that's going to help immensely with taking out these birds. Terror time. Here we go. That girl, what's her name? Maybe she can help us. Place 2 new victims in the space where you started the game. Come on already. I'm actually almost out of victims. Thank God I took the distraction, because now I can hopefully get my 2 back. And now we have another event card coming into play. Oh, come on. 1 less victim will follow you? Oh, no. This is what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to doing this stuff. Oh, man. Things take a turn so fast. All right, let's do our 2 dice distraction. Man, only 1 victim is going to follow me at a time. Come on. At least I gain a time, and then it goes down by 1, and I do have a focus in my hand. So actually we're at 6, 7, and then back down to 2. Let's go ahead and focus, roll 2, and just get 1 success. Come on already, let's go. Here we go. All right, so I'm going to have to, I'm going to dump both, why can't I say the name? Close calls. I'm just going to toss them both. Yes, I could take them in order to reroll, but I'd rather have the guaranteed success here. Even though I go back down to 6, I'm now rolling 3 dice again, and we are going to walk kitty walk our way out of here, hopefully to that space. I do have 2 cards in my hand if I need to dump anything, so let's see how this works. All right, I need to dump my short rest, my weak attack. So I'm just going to show this off now. Boom, 2 successes. So these 2 will go down here. I have no more cards in my hand, but at least I can take these 2 and go badunk right here. And, oh no, I can't. I can only take 1 because of the stupid stubborn kid thing. Oh man. All right, well, at least I won't lose any health. Yay. But you're at least a single person that's free. And for this situation, I'm going to take a guard card and put it into my hand in order to be able to block the incoming bird attack that is going to happen at the beginning of the round. All right, I took the guard card, which is fine. I have 5 to spend. I need to be able to get somewhere. Oh, man. 5 to spend. I get a walk and a focus, which is fine. I'm going to take the other 5. Do I do the improvise again? Or did I just take another distraction? I feel like things are going to be really, really bad soon. Definitely taking a sprint. So that's 3 left that I have to spend. I don't want parkour yet. I don't need that at the moment. Improvise or distraction. Let's do the improvise. I like that. That seemed to work. So those will go there. Distraction, and then 4 zeros for the following round. Now I really need this whistle because an additional victim will follow me then, and 2 people will be able to follow me at that point. Anyway, birds are going to do attack. So basically this is going to be 3 damage coming at me. I could block it all with the trash can lid, but I am going to go ahead and guard first and then see what happens from there. I think I can play the card and then use the trash can lid. At least that's what makes sense to me. All right, so 1 success. So that's reduced by 2. And then I'm going to use one of the trash can lid's defensive tings. And so at least I take no damage. Otherwise that, nothing else happens on the board. There's no other things that are going to be dead. And that works from there. Awesome. Spawning bird time. We have a 2 and a 6. So that would be 2 birds in my spot or 6 birds on any single spot. Yeah, I think we know what's going to happen. So again, the way that this works is that because those 2 birds do not spawn here, they're going to go out in any one of the connecting areas that I see fit. So I'm going to put 1 bird here on the dock, and then I'm going to put 1 bird, I want to put a bird here, right here next to this guy. Because I think I'm going to go to the docks and then come back to rescue one of these guys. So go up, grab 1, go back down. And then if I could do it again, that would be awesome. It'd be even more awesome if this tarot card didn't completely screw me over. Maybe things are starting to go our way. Draw the top card of any item deck. What? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. I got the 1 great card in every single tarot card I've ever seen. This is the only tarot card I've ever seen that has a positive thing for me. Come here, whistle. I don't need to put you in my backpack. Says of any item deck. So hurrah. That's great. So that means I can spend a time and once per action phase, and then all victims in adjacent spots will move to me, but then the birds are going to spawn. Yes. That is awesome. So glad I got that. Which, speaking of which, it is my turn. Unfortunately, during my upkeep, which is the space that has happened right here, boom. So now we're back down to 2 dice again because I'm in a space with 3 birds. I should have taken the distraction. I did not. I took the improvise. I will live with it. That's what it is. Let's go ahead and just keep moving. And we're going to try the improvise. We're going to do it. I'm going to roll 2 dice and see what happens. Are the gods with me? Are they on my side? Not even close. Focus and walk. Whoosh. Goodbye. So now the next roll I do, all 3s and 4s are going to be counted as successes, which is fine. And the only thing I have right now is a sprint. Before I do that, what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to spend a time. And you 2 are going to come down to me. Now, I'm going to go ahead and do the spawning first. And then these 2 victims are going to be released, right? Yeah, we're going to do that. Yes, so they're going to come to me. We'll do the spawn because that's what it says for the whistle. And then we're just going to rescue these guys and get our ultimate ability. Figure the spawn is probably the best thing in order to do at this point. 1 and a 4. 1 is distributed to any space, and 4 is the nearest. Well, I'm on that spot, so I guess I'm going to distribute 4 birds among any space on the board that I want. I'll go 1, 2, 3. Just kind of putting them on spaces that don't have any birds right now, just to throw them out there. 1 bird is not so bad, so there we go. 4 birds have been spread around over here. Oh man, look at this board. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. But in any event, you 2 are now free! Yay! Get out of here, you crazy kids, you! Man, that's nuts! And so what that means then is we would have gained back a health, which the clingy campers would have hit me for the second victim. So now this guy would have gone here in order to be able to regain that health that I lost. And then of course, all of these victims now come off of here. This flips over and we have Melanie's ultimate ability. Once per action phase, you may lose a health to deal 2 damage, divided among the enemies as you choose in your space, and every time you save a victim, you gain a health, which is awesome. A great counteract to clingy campers. Also, because I'm playing in the mode that I am, you 3 go to the board. And based on the rules, they're actually here in the cabins with 3. There's 6 people in the cabins and 1 bird right now. I know I have those like markers and everything that show who's who and where's where and everything along that way, but we're just going to leave it like this for right now. So now I got to get from here all the way up to there. I have no more things on my hand, so yeah, that's pretty much... Wait, do I have nothing in my hand? No, I get to sprint. I didn't even sprint yet. I get to play. I get to actually roll the dice and sprint because I did the whistle first. Yeah, see, I got confused there for a moment. Sweet. Okay, cool. So I get to sprint and get away from those birds. Sadly, it's only 2 dice, but 3s and 4s do count as successes. And that, my friends, would be a double success because of improvise. So we're going to go 4, and then I'm actually going to do this. 1, 2, 3. So we're up here with this bird on the spot. He's going to actually hit me. Do I want him to hit me? Do I care if he hits me? I could spend a health right now and just get rid of him. Yeah, we're going to do that. I'm going to spend a health, deal 2 damage, but 1 damage with this bird is gone. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the buying phase. You know what? No, we're not going to do that. I have my trash can lid. What am I talking about? I have my trash can lid. You guys go here. Put that back. I could just spend a trash can lid points this way he doesn't hit me. I have 4 to spend. Wish I had 5, but you know, you take that extra thing. I am going to take parkour right now because that is actually going to help me a lot to get to where I want to get to immediately. And then 1 more I have will be close call, sprint, improvise, guard, walk, focus. Going to try to grab as many sprints as I can in order to move as much as I can over the next few turns. All right, bird attack phase. Only spaces with 3 birds attack, but this 1 bird is like, trying to come in here and get me. I put up my leg, smash him in the beak, and he doesn't do any damage to me. Thank you, Trash Can Lid. Spawning wise, more birds are landing at our feet. 2 and a 3. So that is any space gets 3 birds or 2 birds in the nearest collection spot, what a search spot, which is actually right here. So I'm going to actually do that. I'm going to take this guy out of here, and that'll be a 3-bird spot in the utility shed. I don't need to go there anymore because I found a whistle randomly wherever I happen to be. And we terror card, which is, where are they coming from? Spawn. If 3 or fewer birds spawn, spawn again. Oh. It's magic. Oh no. 4 and a 6. So 6 birds are going to spawn at the nearest exit, or 4 birds are going to spawn in my space. I really don't want that to happen because I don't want 3 birds in my spot because then the terror level will go down. So 6 birds are going to spawn at the door, but at least that's the only thing that spawns. All right, so 1, 2 here, as we know. So that's 1, 2. We'll put 3. Oh, wait a minute. Oh no. So it's 4 birds. I'm sorry. I thought I was doing too many. So I can put 1 bird over here and then 1 bird in my space. That's fine. That's okay. I can deal with that. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what it's 4 birds spawning in my space because I chose the number 6. Nope, never mind. My math went bad again because I did 6 birds here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's not going to matter. It's not going to matter whatsoever. There's going to be 3 birds in both of these sections anyway, and the horror is going to go up by 2 simply because that's what it is. All right, so upkeep phase. This goes to up here now, which is awful. No other birds are going to spawn because more than 3 birds spawned. It is now the action phase once again. At this point, I don't really care about focusing too much. We're just going to go ahead and do the parkour. Even if I get 1 space, no, I need 2 spaces. I need to get 2 spaces because it's 1, and then I can, well, I skip places with skipping over spaces. So what if I go here? Can I go here? I can't skip the space because there's victims in it. Can I not go into this spot then with parkour? I know the signature moves are very different compared to what all the other things are, but you know, there's actual victims in here, and technically these guys count as victims. But technically it would be 1 and then space 2. I could just bounce around. It would bounce me technically over here, but I want to go here, and there's a lot of people there. I wonder if that was smart to do. We're just gonna roll the dice and see what happens. What's all right? So we got 2 like that. You know, I'm just gonna toss the short rest and the weak attack. We're going to go ahead and just move 1, and I'm going to go ahead and spend a heart in order to kill 2 birds in one spot right here. Now, I can only do that once per turn. I did spend that in order to parkour. Maybe this wasn't the best. I had a great setup where I had all these victims here that led me up to where I had to go to. So this just didn't work out as well as I was hoping it would for parkour. Plus, again, I don't remember if I actually can stop in this spot or not, but whatever. Let's go ahead and spend what... No, I don't want to spend another time just to pull one guy. What I am going to do is we will walk, and I'll see if I can get into this spot. Maybe I should have waited to spend that health then for the other thing. Oh, no. Uh-oh. All right, so we're going to kind of go back a little bit. We're going to say this had the 3 birds on it. I'm going to take the 2 here. Boom, boom, like this. Come on. Come back here. There we are. We'll turn this into a success. We'll move 1 space, and then we'll spend my 1 health to turn this into 1 bird right there. Just because when this thing attacks, I should be able to block it with either... Well, I actually can only block it with a guard card, so I may just buy that to have it. In any event, this goes down to 4, and now we can go ahead and get some cards. This is where things are going to start getting dicey. I'm just going to buy the 2 sprint cards in order to try to get out of here as fast as possible. It worked for me before, and that's why it's like it throws me off a little bit as why it didn't really go so well this time. But then again, you know, every game is different. That's the fun part about Final Girl. No matter how you play, no matter what comes up, every game is going to be different, and it's going to just be a different puzzle that you got to figure out the best way to do things, and of course, luck of the dice roll. All right, birds attack right here. I didn't buy a guard card, so unfortunately, this bird sneaks past me, kind of comes up between this guy and goes, and gets him that way, nails him from the back or whatever it may be, so he is dead. The bloodlust meter goes up, and this goes to 6. Oh God, I'm almost in the red. That's not good. I really need a distract or something like that. Spawning birds, 3 and 3. So 3 birds in the nearest. Oh no! So, yeah, we're just going to move you here. That's fine. And 3 birds right there. Please don't be an attack. Please don't be an attack. Okay. And... Oh, no. Oh, if there's at least 1 special victim in play, there isn't. Oh, there are. They're all 3 special victims. So this goes 1 and then hits the bloodlust meter. So this actually pops up and jumps around. If the finale is revealed, it is not. Otherwise, discard 1 tarot card. So this tarot card is discarded, making our way closer to the finale. And then, because there's at least 1 special victim, the birds spawn again. Come on, 1-1, 1-1, 1-1. Why can't I roll that way when I actually want to? All right, I'm going to have 6 birds spawn here, which actually is 1 bird here. So that's 1. I'll put 2, 3, 4, like here, and then 5. I don't know if I do I have to? I think I have to. I think I have to do 5, and then I can spawn again straight out. We'll put you here for 6. Oh boy, oh no. At least they're not attacking, and I really hope that I can run like crazy this turn. Also, just saying, upkeep phase, this bounces twice, so the next 2 tarot cards are actually gone from the game. So there's only 1 tarot card left. Fun. Okay, here we go. We're starting up here. I only have 1 dice. Before I do anything else, I am going to use a focus and pray upon pray that I get at least 1 star. Come on, please. Yes, thank you. Okay, here. At least I'm rolling 2 dice again. We're now going to use the whistle. Everybody come to me. So actually, we're just going to move this guy up here. All of these guys come up here, and this one comes to me, and then a spawn action happens. So now I'm going to go ahead and do the spawn action. And the reason I did this is because I'm going to sprint my butt off in order to save everybody. 6 and 2. I'm going to spawn 2 birds in my space. So we're going to go all the way around to 1's going to go here to make that a 3, and we're going to put this one here. Oh, no. Okay, well, here's what I want to do. Now that I'm rolling 2 dice, I'm going to go ahead. I have 2 sprints and a walk. We're going to try to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? 1 to rescue 2, 2, 3 to rescue the other one. So that's what I need to do. I'm actually going to spend a heart right now to kill 2 of the birds in this spot because I don't like them at all. And yeah, here we go. We just got to move. We just got to move. And remember, because I have the whistle, 2 people will be able to follow me. So here we go. I only need 3 movement, right? 1, 2, 3. So sure. Going to take these 2 cards, dump them under here. Going to take the 2 special victims for 1. Get the heck out of here, you guys. Run, 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 run. Space number 2 goes here. Space number 3, I'm going to take just you 2 with me for the heck of it. Just to save an extra victim because I can. Remember, every victim I save heals me, even though I do lose a health otherwise. So I'm actually technically back at full health. I lose, I save, I grant, I gain. All special victims have been saved. And the birds, I've pretty much taken over the camp. We out of here. Let's go. And just to check again, I would have had 1 heart surviving if they happened to kill me. And their finale was Endless Swarm. When moving into a space, you lose, oh God, you lose health if there are 3 birds in that space. And at this point of the game, they would have just basically been everywhere because they would just continue to spawn and spawn and spawn. Oh man, that got scary. You and your friends survived the terror from above. Congratulations. That was close. I'm telling you, this entire vignette is based off of speed, running, getting from point A to point B, getting as many guys as you can out of the field as fast as possible. You know, there was a lot that happened within this playthrough that worked out just so well. And I think Camp Happy Trails kind of works really good with that because it was just spawn victim, spawn victim, spawn victim, and the birds don't attack unless they're in a big group. So it gives you a little bit of time to get yourself around the board as fast as you can, saving people and getting them out of there and all that other fun stuff. Even though Melanie needed 6 victims in order to make her ultimate appear, you can throw somebody else on there that has less and then they appear faster. But I think just her powers and everything really are exactly what I needed in order to get through this, especially when she started killing birds on her own to like kind of thin the flock a little bit, I guess you could say. And then just really having a great way to to get around and whatnot. I love the way this vignette is. I love the new challenge and the new style that it is and compared to the other stuff from Series 1. And I'm really curious what Terror from the Grave is like, which is the vignette for Season 2. With that said, guys, let me know what you thought of Terror from Above. Do you like this? Is this something that you have in your collection? I know that this is like a harder to come by set just because the vignette is a little bit difficult to find as compared to the feature films and everything. Is this something that you think you may look up in order to try to find? Remember, the little birds, the figures don't come with this. It's all the tokens. You'd have to find a way to get the birds separately. But it all works out either way, all the tokens and everything. And you just stare at that map and oh my God, it is just a massive amount of birds all over the place, and it can be very intimidating. Some of their finales and their their dark powers are, there's a dark power in here where you can't rescue victims with birds on an exit, and as you saw, they were everywhere, so you got to be really lucky and really careful about everything you do. So I'm curious on what you think of this particular set, and if you've played it, and some of your stories behind it. Guys, thank you so much. You have been absolutely amazing. I hope you guys enjoyed Series 1 of Final Girl. Now that I have finally gone through every killer, every location, and everything that I possibly could, I'm so glad I did this. I can't wait to start Series 2. I'm going to go ahead and start reading through the lore book right here so I can do my killer lore video and then start playing through these and everything. I'm so excited to try this out. There's so many great killers in this one. And of course, all this is going to ultimately lead up again to Series 3, which should come out sometime in 2023. It's going to be so exciting, an amazing year for Final Girl, and I thank you all for coming on this journey with me. As always, take care of yourselves and each other. We are family forever, gaming together. I never liked birds. I never trust them. This doesn't help me get over that fear. But you know what? I won. I beat them. I am smarter than a bird. Maybe not the best thing to admit, but hey, it is what it is. I will see you guys in the next one.